Sup guys, it's Excellent Name and I'm here with my ASL Week 2 game up against Ian, and this definitely was a tough one for me. Looking right at his team, we see that he didn't bring Drapion, which means that he is rather Deoxys weak, but unfortunately I didn't bring the Nasty Plot set. Just looking at that though, I'm immediately assuming that this is a Spadef Sizzle, because otherwise he does not have any real answers to Deoxys. Uxie is not a good counter as it does get 3 hit KO'd by Dark Pulse, so it can only really come in once or twice anyway. So with that in mind, I also am looking at the fact that he has both Uxie and Chestnut, which means that I think he might be a Dragonium Z Breaker Garchomp, as he already will have rocks on Uxie and cover my Kangaskhan pretty well with the Uxie and Chestnut. Other than that, he brings pretty much what I expect. So let's jump into it. I'm expecting him, I'm not sure what he'll lead, but I know Metagross pairs up fairly well against pretty much anything. So I just choose to lead with Metagross, and he leads with the Uxie. I'm pretty much just happy to get my rocks up here, and then I want to get some pursuit damage, expecting him to switch. He actually knockoffs my Sugar Berry, which is a bit unfortunate. It's going to suck for the Garchomp, but I just stay in here to pursuit again, get some nice damage on it, which is good for the Lando. And he goes Garchomp here. Expecting the Earthquake I don't want to take, I want to keep that for the Healisk. I go Landorus, and he makes a good play here and Hidden Power Ices me, which I predict him to switch though. No, I do not predict him to switch. I just Earthquake, knowing that I can kill this with Hidden Power Flame the next turn regardless. So Earthquake was a no drawback play. And then on the Finny, I click Earthquake again. No, I click Knockoff to get rid of his item, predicting the switch into maybe Uxie. And then I go into Electabuzz to try to get some pressure, and he defogs here. In the Garchomp, I just Volt Switch. I don't really care too much about letting this in, because I can get some chip off with Hidden Power Ice. And he reveals double rocks. I was just happy to sack that, because if he was Earthquake and outsped me, then that would mean that he was Scarf, which would allow me to get in Landorus and claim a kill. So I would have been fine with that trade, and otherwise I just got really good damage off on it for the Kangaskhan. So overall it was a good, would have been a happy trade for me. He just goes into Heliolisk here, and this is basically here for Heliolisk in a way, so I just go ahead and Fire Punch it. I eat that with ease, but then he reveals to be Z Hydro Vortex, which knocks me out, which is unfortunate. I can now bring in my Deoxys Speed to revenge kill this though. He just sacks it to the Fire Punch. I went for Fire Punch there to try to scare the Sizzle out from coming in, and now that he brings in the Finny, I can just really go into Roserade on the Nature's Madness. I just Synthesis up here, I believe. No, I Hidden Power Fire, predicting him to switch because I didn't want to give the Sizzle any momentum. And then I Synthesis here, predicting him to go for a Spiky Shield to try to just stall some PP or something. And then I set up my spikes, thinking that this can't really touch me, and then he reveals Earthquake, which does an absolute buttload. So I just decide to kill him at this point. And then he goes into the Uxie. I'm fearing him to be a bit fast and go for Psychic. He actually Mementos, and Clear Body means I'm unaffected. He's clearly just trying to get the win with Sizzle, and at this point I reveal the Hidden Power Fire, which as you can see does a lot. This confirms that he is not Spadef. He is still health invested though. He then kills me with Bug Bite, so I go into the Kangaskhan here, and so I Fire Punch here, because if I don't Fire Punch and if I return, I don't kill most of the time. And if he Bug Bites there, then I lose on the spot. +2 Scissor destroys the rest of the team, and I've got nothing for it. So I have to Fire Punch here. There's no other real play for me to make there. And fortunately this of course brings in the Garchomp, which I do not kill with a Fire Punch, and I take an absolute million from Rocky Helmet Ship. As you can see, very terrible here. But I go for the Blizzard here and miss. Now this really sucked. In hindsight, I could have just gone for the return. This was at like 2 AM, so I wasn't really thinking straight. Return would have killed, and I would have lived the Rocky Helmet damage from this, but I wanted to kill this without dying myself, because this would give me the switch initiative, which would allow me to bring in Landorus and guarantee the win at that point. If Landorus comes in on the Intimidate, then I've wrapped up the game, because Sizzle cannot set up an SD on the Landorus, it's forced to a Bullet Punch. which will give me a free switch into the Roserade, who lived a Bug Bite from -1 Scizor and could Hidden Power Fire. If he goes Finny, I just Giga Drain and win the game with the Spikes chip. And if he goes Finny, then the Earthquake damage is enough for Finny to not be able to take Rocks plus another move from Deoxys Speed, which means Deoxys Speed 1. So unfortunately I end up missing and he kills me, which basically cost me the game here. I go into Deoxys Speed to revenge and I click Stomping Tantrum here. I've clicked Stomping Tantrum because I wanted to get some chip on the Finny if he decided that he wanted to save the guard shop for Intimidate fodder, meaning that if he wanted to switch out into it to get rid of an attack debuff on Scizor or something, then I wanted to be able to at least get some chip on the Finny so that I could potentially handle it late game. But I didn't know Stomping Tantrum actually counted as a contact move, so this play actually ended up costing me the game here. I still thought I could win the game because I expected that the Scizor was a still a bulky set. I was kind of tunnel mining that, so I just sacked the Deoxys here, trying to get as much damage as I can. Go into the Roserade to click Giga Drain to kill him off, and so I'm thinking that I do outspeed the Scizor here because he's surely HP invested, but he's actually a very fast Scizor, which ends up losing me the game here. The reason why I don't go into land, I actually lived a -1 attack Bug Bite, but I didn't choose to go into Landorus there because in my mind I outsped, and if he set up a Sword Stance predicting the switch, then I did lose. So I didn't want to make that play. That play would have been a choke in theory. So instead I end up losing to the fast Scizor. So definitely quite upset with the game. It was kind of a triple whammy of bad playing, bad matchup, and hacks for me, and even then I only barely lost, which really blows for me. I'm quite upset about this game. Looking at his team, he really didn't respect the Deoxys bring at all. He had literally nothing that could have dealt with a nasty plot Deoxys, which I showed that I was willing to bring last week, so I'm not sure exactly what he was hoping to do with that. But yeah, in the end, the fact that I tunnel visioned specific prep so hard really did cost me, and so did a lack of knowledge. I feel like I played real bad as well, so it was just kind of all over the shop in that game, but Ian played well, good games to him. I'm definitely still going to try to bounce back in the following weeks and try to get a 12-1 record if I can. So stay tuned for that. See you next time.